Well, hello, fellow YouTube survivors. This is Phoenix, and we are on the FTB expert server, like I had promised you guys in my first episode of the Vanilla 1.9. We actually have Stalker with me down there behind me, but he's got his mic off right now. He's kind of doing his thing. So, basically, all we've done is we have done our little intro for everybody. All of this is going to be the first official server, though, or the first official episode. So that's why we have a little bit of stuff in our inventories, but nothing really all that important.
Okay then, folks. Welcome to the Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode.
Yeah,
Ooh,
this is Stalker VTID, along with Phoenix, and the newest guide to our collection, Technojock.
Hi guys.
So yeah, you've met Phoenix before, but you've never met Technojock. If you're interested in his work, which after this Let's Play, I guarantee you're going to be. Check out his channel, follow, subscribe. Phoenix, we know Phoenix. Phoenix has been around for quite a while. Funny, interested. He's got to watch. So yeah, follow Phoenix, subscribe. Let's get this show on the road, guys. What we're going to do.
I think we're supposed to hit a block, right? Something?
Yeah.
And that's how it goes.
Woohoo! I won!
Something to do with this tree.
Let's start. So, this is day one.
Guys, these are... Oh, no, these are oak trees. Okay, cool. I started to say these are pine trees, because they kind of look like the pine trees. Yeah, we found out the hard way that most of the different trees from the Biomes of Plenty do not actually work. You can't turn them into planks without the carpenter. That's what they did, guys. They made it to where the carpenter was the only way to turn all those other trees into planks.
Yeah. It's pretty hard.
So, this is really going to take it to the edge.
So, yeah. I don't know, do we want to take a cut and come back once we've got a little bit of material?
I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
We've met, we've saw. Now let's go and kick some.
Yeah, we've got this handy little village next to us. I think we can raid that for a little bit of starting gear and yeah, come back in a minute.
See what we're saying.
Cool.
Just about got 10 sugar cane. Really not that hard with the freaking watering can. It makes life so much
No, are weeds on?
They are, but as long as you keep moving fast and everything, and you don't let stuff just sit there forever, it shouldn't be an issue. That's where weeds kill you. You used to be able to, because I know in regrowth the weeds were disabled, and you could just sit there and just let them go, let them do their own thing. You didn't have to force them to grow or whatever, and you never had to worry about weeds, you know.
I did turn them off in ForgeCraft because it was just a pain.
Yeah, they're annoying, but I mean, just for this breed and stuff like here, and then once you get like automatic farms going and stuff, like with MFR or whatever you decide to do, you won't have to worry about it. It'll keep them from getting weeded naturally. It doesn't sound like a word. I think I made that up.
What we did?
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like. At least the way I was using it, I don't think that.
I'm pretty sure that's a legit word.
I used it as a verb, and it just doesn't really seem like. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
That's Americans for you. We just say what sounds good, and.
I'm pretty sure that's a word in proper English as well.
Okay, well then I guess I don't feel so bad.
Queen's English, if you will.
A Scottishman telling me how to speak English. That makes sense.
Oh, I'm a grammar Nazi though.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I won't use much in the way of Scots words.
Okay, I'll give you a movie debate that always throws people. Some people just don't realize that, and that's what's his face, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah, because he used so many different accents, and isn't he Scottish by like birth or whatever?
Oh yeah, he's from Glasgow.
Yeah,
he was a milkman in Glasgow.
I was almost positive he was Scottish. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but he always he never uses any accent other than his own.
No, I know that, but he's played Spaniards and Egyptians and Irishmen and
And Russians.
and he always sounds the exact same, and nobody
Yeah.
ever notices or cares, I guess. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I don't really care. The man's
It's part of his
awesome
charm, I
actor.
suppose.
Yeah, no. From the first time I saw him as James Bond, I knew that guy's career was going to go big places. You could just see it, you know.
Or Xanadu.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, I love Xanadu. I remember watching that as a kid.
That was some outfit he wore in that.
Do you know you get like films from being a child? Do you remember? That's one of them. It's like Escape from Witch Mountain and Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Wow, you just named 2 of my favorite movies when I was a kid. That is awesome.
Now, Stalker, you're about to see something. Don't get annoyed, because these are ones I've found on my own.
Oh, I still haven't made my tool
By the
binding.
way, guys, I found, I shouldn't say I found because it's, and I'm saying this to YouTube as well as you guys. I found a really cool block that I saw in a video yesterday or last night that is really cool. It's from the Steve's Workshop mod.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a block called Unnamed Report to Mod Author, but it's actually a type. It's a really cheap made chest. A crafting table, but it's the one where you can have 4 crafting tables or 4 crafting tables, and maybe a couple furnaces. There's all these different things you can add to it.
Yeah, extra storage and stuff
its
as well.
inventory, and there's actually like an auto crafter upgrade built in that you can build into it. Really simple stuff that you can all add into them, and it makes your life so much easier because you can actually look at 4 crafting tables in your crafting screen while you're crafting. And if you do the extra storage one, it puts a line of storage underneath the crafting table so that you can make the recipe and then put all the extras in that extra storage, and it'll just keep making them while you have the storage.
The cat has just nipped up onto the desk in front of me and has stolen a crisp chip to you, Phoenix, from the bowl in front of me and run off with it.
That's funny. She's like, haha, my chip.
It was the most blatantly obvious thing in the world as well. Just slowly did it. Like, if I move slowly, he won't notice.
Funniest thing. I have a sulcata tortoise, and he stays in another room, like that I have to keep the door closed because the dogs like to go in there and try to chew on him because of his shell and stuff, But anyways, long story short, there's always this room that's closed off, and what I do is I put all the animal food and stuff in there, and so the cats are always like sitting there at the door because you know how cats are; they're always freaking hungry.
Oh, a closed door to a cat is an offensive thing.
Exactly, yeah. And there's enough room that they can like almost fit their head underneath it, so they're always reaching their paws in. Well, here's the worst thing. See, I live in the country, right? So I get field mice in my house sometimes, especially when it's cold out. And so there's mice in that room sometimes, every once in a while. Well, the other day I'm sitting here and I saw that they were sitting there playing at the door. I could hear them, thumping around and crap like that, And I wanted to know what they were doing. Well, just about the time I get up to go in there and see what they were doing, they just like freaking going nuts. And the whole time, one of my cats had his paws underneath the door and was just sitting there. And then all of a sudden, they start going nuts, right? The little son of a gun had his paw underneath the door with his claws up, and a mouse ran over him, and he snatched it like a freaking mouse, dude. I had never seen anything like that in my life. I was like, that is just freaking cool as hell. He wouldn't even let go, but I had to take him outside and set him down so he'd let go of it. So
his paw was left in like a little bear trap.
It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Ugh. Freaking. That's why I love animals, because they're just so like they don't even realize how amusing they are.
So I'd say when I'm doing so, I've got enough blocks now to make us a furnace.
Yeah, I think it's a stack of cobblestone to make a furnace, right?
It is. It's just. I think it's either just over or just under.
Yeah. So for those of you who haven't done expert mode or haven't seen it yet, in order to make a furnace in regular deal here, look, I'll even show you the recipe. when you look at furnace, come on, there it goes. All right, when you click on it, it is compressed cobblestone. So 9. We need 9 compressed cobblestone, which is 9 each. So you can kind of do the math. That's insane. See, and Stalker, he's just coming down in here into my business and stealing all my ore, and you know, he just kind of he thinks we're teaming up. He doesn't realize that he's on my hit list.
Hey, I just made a nice little find of Certus quartz, so we'll be able to make the grinder.
Hey, you have that Tinker's table still?
Yep.
Throw it down for me real quick.
Oh, I need you to come and document my diamonds.
Want me to come document them for you? Okay.
Yeah.
YouTube
Verify.
world, I'm documenting Stalker's diamonds. That does not even sound right.
I've found the first diamonds on the server. That's all I care about. Authentication.
Dun, da, da, da. That seems anticlimactic since we can't get them.
Yeah, but there's a good vein of one on the top,
it's dent
all the way.
one.
Yeah, that's mine. All this is mine. Keep away.
Maybe I should try to break it with a stone pickaxe. Maybe I'll get lucky.
Don't do whatever you do, man. We need to go and get. We need to go and get clay. So I'm
Wow,
off.
looks like you got 6 of them at least. With that
Yep,
dent
okay.
one. That dent one will probably release 3 of them, probably. Hey, are you a reader? Do you like to read books and stuff?
I've read a bit over my time. I've read a few autobiographies and stuff. I don't read every day and stuff, but
Well, no, I don't read every day, but I do like to read. I love science fiction and different stuff like that, you know. And recently, my wife bought the full set of the Harry Potter books, you know.
yeah,
And she said she wanted me to read them first because I read fast. I read a little faster than her, you know, so that I would get through it by the time, because she had less time on her hands, obviously, than I do. And so I started reading it, and I've never read any of the Harry Potter books whatsoever. I've love the movies, own them all, great movies, whatever. But I've never read the books before. And I remember whenever they first come out, the movies first come out, everybody swore up and down that the movies and the books were really close, right?
yeah.
And I'm not feeling like they're as close as what everybody led me to believe.
They're not.
Well, like the first book was definitely right on. Perfect. I mean, they messed up very little. There was and things they did not do were like simple things that they probably just couldn't do for time constraints and different things like that. You know, they didn't make a big deal. But I'm on the 3rd book now, Prisoner of Azkaban, and there is a lot of difference. And it's not the big things that are different; it's the little things. You know,
Are they more childish than like adult oriented than the film?
No, they get adult like you get to hear more of like Harry's inner thoughts and stuff, and some of the things he does in the books that he didn't do in the movies make him seem different. He's not quite as childish as he was. Because I'm with you. The first one and the second one were definitely very childish movies. Not in a bad way. They just were. You know, you could see it. They were meant for a younger audience.
Those family films.
Yeah, and then after that, they started to get a little darker. You know, I think what was it? The 4th one, I think, was where somebody finally died and different things like that. But what gets me is some of the differences in the way, and I can't really explain it. Like I've tried to explain it to my wife a couple times, and she doesn't really understand what I'm saying. So I don't think I'm explaining it properly. But it feels different, you know.
Well, yeah. Do you know what I mean? If you're used to watching it one way and then something's not as it should be, it will feel different.
Well, see, I'm big about typically, when I see a movie that's off of a book, I like to watch the movie first because I'm big about not judging a book and a movie based on each other. Typically,
Yeah.
You know, like the Twilight series, for example. The movies, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, chick flick," and everything, but I actually kind of liked them because I like vampires and all that shit. You know, so I liked the stories. They were a little weird, but I liked them. Whatever. The books, 100 times better than the movies could ever even imagine be. And mostly it was because of one character, and that's Bella. Because, you know, Kristen Stewart can do whatever she wants, and I know she makes money, but she was not the Bella that they should have picked for that movie. You know?
To be honest, right, I watched that for the first time. I watched the last movie probably about 3 weeks ago.
What, of the Twilight series?
Yep.
Really?
I'd watched the first 2 a long time ago, and it just didn't spurn me enough to want to watch
Yeah.
And I only watched it because it was on, and it was over Christmas. I sat there and the telly was on, and I just couldn't be bothered to get into a computer game, so
Dude.
I just left it rolling.
You want me to be straight up honest with you? Okay, internet world, listen in. I will make sure I put this part in the video. YouTube, listen in closely. I'm going to give you a straight up truth here. I cried whenever I watched the last one at the theater.
Dude, I wouldn't have
Breaking
been
Dawn
great.
Part 2. Dude, straight up. Okay, look. Me and my wife,
No.
we love Twilight, right? We both loved it. So we went to the midnight showing where they showed you all the movies first, and then you get to watch the new one, you know? And there's a scene, now everybody's seen Twilight at this point, but it's a scene in the last movie is the big fight scene, right? Which is completely different in the book, but in the big fight scene, you see that dream sequence or whatever, what could happen if, you know, whatever. And when the dad, Carlisle, gets his head ripped off, my wife, she did the same thing, but I literally, my hand went to my face and I went, oh my God, did they just kill Carlisle? And I'm freaking out. You know, whole theater's bursting with people freaking out and everything. And I remember looking at my wife going, please don't tell anybody I ever responded like that.
Well, to be honest, right, the whole world knows now. Did you say that?
Well, you know.
I tell you what, I wouldn't have been enough of a man
If
to
you all
say that
didn't
before
know,
Twilight.
if nobody knew it firsthand, you do now. I am a big wuss. I love my movies, and if it's a good movie and it's got a good story, there might be a tear or two that might get squeezed out. You know, it's just the way it is, man. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
I can honestly say no. It just doesn't happen. I can feel sad for the person, and I don't think I connect that much to the characters.
You know what it
in the
is?
film.
Now you don't. Some people don't believe in this stuff, but I'm a Libra. That's my
So am
astrological sign.
So
You are too. Okay, well,
Yep.
okay, well, then you're just a different kind of Libra then, because Libras in general are typically very emotional people, you know.
Now I'm alright. I'm pretty stable. I hold it together.
Well, it's not that I don't hold it together. It's just that, like, when I'm watching a good movie or, you know, reading a good story, I might get into it. And not necessarily like I'm going to start streaming tears down my face, but, like, you ever get where, like, whenever you hit your hand or something and that like, you get choked up for a second, you know?
Do you know what? I can get choked up at watching something which is sad, but it doesn't get into the point where I'm not emotional. But when it goes to hitting my hand or something, for some reason I don't get emotional getting hurt in that aspect.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not one of those people, but most people, like most guys, when they hit their hand, they'll get a little choked up, and that's kind of what I was saying. That's what it's not like I'm crying so much as, you know,
Yeah.
I'm fighting back that possibility. You know, my wife will always laugh at me because we were sitting there watching some TV show the other night. And now, granted, okay, I'd like to put into the fact that I'm also high typically when this stuff goes on. So, you know, I'm probably, you know, for free and kids out there, don't do drugs. No, it's legal here in Washington, so I'm allowed. But anyways, long story short, you know, I don't know. I'm not really afraid to admit it because it's just who I am. I mean,
No, I'd just be keeping that close to my heart.
oh well. Do you look at me differently now?
I don't know, but I think we're going to be the feminine of the server. I think we're going to put you. We're going to pop you into the kitchen.
Oh, you can so tell you're an English person because you're just so different, you know.
We're just. I think we're just men's men. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. There is Englishmen exactly the same as you who are in touch with their feminine side, but a lot of us are just men's men.
Well, see, I am too. I mean, in straight up all honesty, my wife always says that about me because I'm a country boy and I'm a redneck. You know, I am. But at the same time, I grew up at the start of this last, well, at the end of the 80s generation, at the beginning of the 90s generation, and that's when people, you know, people are different. And I grew up also. I'm a single child from my mother was pretty much the only parent I had, kind of a deal, you know. So you can imagine, you know.
You're a mommy's boy.
Yes, I'm a mama's boy. Yes, I always have been. It's just who I am.
It
I remember
explains it
when
all.
me and Angel had been together like, I don't know, 6 months or something, and my mom was like really coming in between us a little bit, and I actually had to make the conscious decision where I had to speak to my mother and be like, look, she's what's important right now, so you're just gonna have to get over it and get used to it. And then my mom stopped, of course, but I remember actually having to make that decision and have that conversation with my mother, and it was probably the hardest decision I'd ever had to make because I didn't want to hurt my mom's feelings, you know.
Yeah, but sometimes you just gotta realize that you've
Well,
grown
you
up.
got to grow up, you know. And
You do have to forge your own life. And
yeah, I love my parents. Don't get anything wrong. I love my mother. I love my stepdad. I love my real dad. But at the same time, I needed to grow up, and I had been needing to do that for a while. You know, I was one of those people where I was reasonably mature, but I hadn't really grown up.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
You was a man, but you hadn't quite hit manhood.
Well, I'd been living on my own since I was 16 years old. I moved down to my parents' house, and me and my girlfriend had a place together, still going to school and all that stuff like that. But I wasn't the most responsible, if that makes sense. I did what I had to do, but it wasn't, you know.
So you hadn't hit maturity is what you're trying to say.
Okay, guys, that's going to be the end of our intro video for the Infinity Evolved and Expert Mode on the Seasoned Gamer server. Definitely make sure you hit that like button if you like what you see. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Helps me out, helps you out, all that good stuff. All right, so we will see you next time. So you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. This is Phoenix. I'm out.